As we grow older, our priorities start to shift. We begin to pay more attention to our health, our time, and the people around us. But something many people don't realize is that after the age of 75, the risks to our health change dramatically. Some conditions become much more common, and some are much more dangerous than we ever expected. And while we can't control everything, there are 5 major causes of death that every person over 75 should know about. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Because when you understand what's really putting your health at risk, you can take steps to protect yourself and your loved ones. So in this video, we're going to walk through the 5 most common causes of death after age 75 and what you can start doing today to reduce your risk. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. And by the end of this video, you're going to feel more informed, more in control, and more confident about your future. Now, before we dive in, I want you to do one small thing. If you're watching this and you're over 75, or you have a loved one who is, take a moment and comment, "I'm here" down below. That helps us see how many people this message is reaching, and it lets us know that you're actively taking your health seriously. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that now and hit the bell icon, because we release videos like this every week that could make a real difference in your life or someone you care about. Okay, let's get started. Cause 1, heart disease. Let's start with the #1 cause of death for people over 75, and honestly, it's not even close. Heart disease. The heart is the engine of the body, and when it starts to break down, everything else follows. What makes heart disease so dangerous is how silent it can be. For years, you might feel perfectly fine while plaque builds up in your arteries, slowly reducing blood flow, stressing your heart, and setting the stage for a major event. By the time symptoms like chest pain or shortness of breath appear, the damage is already well underway. But here's something not enough people talk about. Your heart doesn't just fail overnight. It gives you signs, sometimes subtle, sometimes loud, but they're there. Feeling unusually tired even after a good night's sleep, swelling in your legs or feet, or getting out of breath doing simple tasks like climbing stairs or walking to the mailbox. These aren't just aging. They could be signs your heart is struggling. And many seniors ignore those signs until it's too late, but you don't have to be one of them. The truth is, there's a lot you can do to protect your heart, even after 75. First and foremost, regular checkups are critical. That means blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar monitoring. Many people walk around with dangerously high levels and have no idea because they feel okay. Second, lifestyle still matters, even in your late 70s and beyond. Walking daily, eating more vegetables and whole foods, cutting back on salt and saturated fats, these changes aren't just for young people. They can dramatically improve your heart health no matter your age. And don't forget about stress. Chronic stress is like poison for your heart. It raises your blood pressure, increases inflammation, and can even trigger heart attacks. That's why finding ways to relax, whether it's through meditation, prayer, music, or spending time with loved ones, can be just as important as your medication. Finally, listen to your body. If something feels off, don't brush it off. That small flutter in your chest, that shortness of breath, that sudden dizziness, those could be early warning signs that your heart needs attention. Heart disease is serious, but it doesn't have to be your story. With awareness, early detection, and small consistent changes, you can strengthen your heart and keep it working the way it's supposed to. Now let's move on to the second cause, one that catches many people by surprise. Cause 2, falls. The second leading cause of death for people over 75 isn't a disease. It's something most people don't think twice about. Falls. Yes, simple falls, the kind that might seem harmless when you're younger, can be devastating, even deadly as we age. A fall can break a hip, fracture a wrist, or cause a head injury that leads to a rapid decline. But beyond the physical damage, falls can take away your confidence, your independence, and your ability to live the life you want. One of the scariest parts is that most falls happen in the home, in places that are supposed to be safe. We're talking about tripping on a rug, slipping in the bathroom, or missing a step in a dim hallway. And often these accidents happen because of things that are totally preventable. Poor lighting, loose carpets, cluttered walkways, and wearing the wrong kind of footwear can all increase your risk. And balance issues, which become more common after 75, can make even a small misstep dangerous. Now here's what a lot of people don't realize. Your risk of falling doesn't just depend on your balance. It's also about your vision, your medications, your muscle strength, and even your hydration. Some medications can make you dizzy or drowsy, which throws off your sense of balance. Dehydration can drop your blood pressure and make you lightheaded when you stand up. Weak leg muscles mean you're less steady on your feet, and poor vision means you don't see obstacles in your path until it's too late. The good news is, falls can often be prevented. Start by evaluating your home. Are there loose rugs that could be removed? Do you have grab bars in the bathroom? Is there enough light in the hallway at night? Small changes like adding night lights, using non-slip mats, or getting a raised toilet seat can make a huge difference. And let's talk about footwear. Those old slippers or socks might be comfy, but they could be putting you at risk. Look for shoes that are supportive, have a non-slip sole, and fit well. But it's not just your environment, it's your body. Strength and balance exercises are critical after 75. You don't need to join a gym or lift heavy weights. Simple chair exercises, leg lifts, or walking in place while holding onto a counter can strengthen the muscles that keep you stable. Tai Chi is especially great for older adults. It's gentle, low impact, and helps with coordination and balance. Even a few minutes a day can reduce your fall risk dramatically over time. And don't be embarrassed to use a cane or walker if you need one. These tools aren't a sign of weakness, they're a sign of wisdom. They can give you the confidence to move around safely and maintain your independence. Remember, one serious fall can change everything. It can lead to surgery, months of rehab, or worse. But by being proactive, making your environment safer, and taking care of your body, you can reduce the risk and stay strong on your feet. So if you or someone you love is over 75, now's the time to take falls seriously. Check your home, talk to your doctor about your medications, stay active, and don't be afraid to ask for support, because when you take falls seriously, you're protecting your freedom, your mobility, and your future. All right, let's talk about the third cause now, one that often gets overlooked until it becomes a crisis: respiratory issues. Cause 3, respiratory issues. Now let's talk about the third leading cause of death for people over 75, respiratory issues. And we're not just talking about catching a cold or getting a cough. We're talking about serious, long-term breathing problems that slowly chip away at your health, your comfort, and your independence. Conditions like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, better known as COPD, along with emphysema, chronic bronchitis, and yes, pneumonia, which can be life-threatening for seniors. Here's the truth: after age 75, your lungs just don't work the way they used to. They lose elasticity, the muscles that help you breathe weaken, and your ability to fight off infections drops. If you've spent years around secondhand smoke, if you ever smoked yourself, or if you've lived in a polluted area, your lungs may already be compromised without you even knowing it. And once you start having breathing problems, it affects everything: your sleep, your ability to move around, your energy level, even your heart health. What makes this worse is that the symptoms often come on gradually. You might feel a little more winded than usual going up the stairs. You might start skipping walks because you feel too tired. You might even think it's just a part of aging, but these signs can be early warning flags. And if you wait too long to get checked out, you could end up in the ER with severe shortness of breath or a dangerous lung infection that could have been managed if caught earlier. Now, respiratory problems can become fatal when they lead to things like oxygen deprivation. When your lungs can't pull in enough air, your brain, your heart, and your entire body suffer. Over time, low oxygen levels can cause confusion, memory problems, heart strain, and even sudden death. And let's not forget pneumonia, which is often called the old man's friend because it tends to strike the elderly hard, fast, and often fatally. It's sneaky too. What starts as a mild cough can turn into something deadly in a matter of days. But there's hope. There are ways to protect your lungs and catch problems before they get worse. If you're over 75, get regular checkups that include lung function tests. If you're coughing more than usual, getting out of breath easily, or experiencing tightness in your chest, don't wait. See a doctor. Use a pulse oximeter at home to monitor your oxygen levels. And if you've been prescribed inhalers, oxygen therapy, or other treatments, make sure you use them exactly as directed. And let's talk prevention. Get your flu shot every year, get the pneumonia vaccine, stay away from cigarette smoke and air pollution as much as possible. Keep your home clean and dust-free. Use an air purifier if needed. Stay hydrated because dry airways are more likely to become irritated or infected. And do breathing exercises. Yes, they really help. Something as simple as sitting up straight and taking slow, deep breaths for a few minutes a day can keep your lungs more flexible and open. The goal isn't just to avoid disease, it's to breathe easier, sleep better, and keep your body strong. So don't ignore those little signs. If you're wheezing, coughing, or feeling short of breath, pay attention. Respiratory issues are serious, but they don't have to be a death sentence. With awareness, good care, and a few smart habits, you can protect your lungs and enjoy your years with a lot more ease and comfort. Now let's move on to a very different kind of danger, one that often creeps in slowly and quietly. It's time to talk about cause number 4, kidney disease. Cause 4, kidney disease. Now let's get into something that doesn't always make headlines, but takes far too many lives quietly. Kidney disease. By the time someone is over 75, their kidneys have already been working hard for decades, filtering waste, balancing fluids, and keeping all kinds of chemicals in check inside the body. But here's what most people don't realize. Kidney disease often shows no symptoms until it's already advanced. You could be walking around with half your kidney function gone and not even know it. And when the kidneys fail, everything else starts to break down with them. Kidney disease in older adults is often caused by years of high blood pressure or diabetes. Those two conditions do a number on the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys. Over time, the damage adds up. The kidneys stop filtering waste efficiently. That waste builds up in the blood. And when the kidneys reach the point where they can't keep up anymore, you're looking at end-stage renal disease. That means dialysis or a kidney transplant, both of which are incredibly hard on the body, especially for someone in their 70s or 80s. Now here's something else that makes it dangerous. Medications, even ones that are supposed to help, can sometimes damage the kidneys if not monitored closely. Common over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen or naproxen, taken too often, can actually harm kidney tissue. Add to that the fact that older adults are often on multiple medications, and the risk of drug-related kidney damage goes way up. This is why routine blood work is so important. It's not just about cholesterol or blood sugar. It's about catching that slow, silent decline in kidney function before it turns into something critical. And when the kidneys start to fail, the signs can be subtle. You might notice swelling in your ankles or hands. You might feel more tired than usual, even if you've been sleeping well. Your appetite could change. You might feel nauseated or get cramps in your muscles. And again, many people just chalk it up to aging, but these symptoms matter. And when they start showing up in someone over 75, it's a red flag that the kidneys might be struggling. So what can be done? First, know your numbers. If you're over 75, you should be getting your kidney function checked regularly through simple blood and urine tests. Keep your blood pressure and blood sugar under control because they're the top 2 causes of kidney damage. Stay hydrated, but don't overdo it. Ask your doctor before taking any new meds or supplements, especially ones that might stress your kidneys. And limit salty foods. Too much salt makes your kidneys work harder and can lead to high blood pressure, which creates a vicious cycle. Also, be cautious with protein. Yes, your body needs it, but too much protein can increase the burden on your kidneys, especially if you already have some decline in function. Your doctor or a dietitian can help you find the right balance. And stay away from processed foods. They're full of hidden sodium and additives that are tough on your system. Eating fresh, whole foods and cutting back on packaged meals can go a long way in protecting your kidneys. Kidney disease is one of those things that creeps in silently but can have a massive impact. Once kidney function drops below a certain point, there's no reversing it. But if you catch it early, you can slow the decline and avoid dialysis, which is exhausting and risky for older adults. So take kidney health seriously. It's not just about your kidneys, it's about protecting your entire body from a slow, painful collapse. And that brings us to our final cause, one that touches nearly every family and often hits hardest when we least expect it. It's time to talk about Alzheimer's disease. Cause 5, Alzheimer's disease. Now let's talk about something that steals more than just time. It steals identity, it steals connection, it steals presence. Alzheimer's disease. This is one of the most heartbreaking conditions we see in older adults, and it's far more common than most people think. After age 75, the risk of developing Alzheimer's jumps significantly, and by the time someone reaches their 80s, nearly 1 in 3 people will be affected in some form. But the real danger of Alzheimer's isn't just memory loss, it's everything that comes with it. Confusion, personality changes, inability to care for oneself, and yes, a dramatically shortened life expectancy once the disease takes hold. Here's the truth people don't like to talk about. Alzheimer's is fatal. It doesn't just make you forget names or where you left your keys. It gradually shuts down the brain's ability to perform even the most basic functions. It affects language, it affects mobility, it affects the ability to swallow, and eventually it leads to complications like infections, malnutrition, and total body shutdown. On average, after diagnosis, a person with Alzheimer's lives another 4 to 8 years, though some can live longer depending on their overall health and level of care. But the journey is never easy, and for families, it's devastating to watch someone they love slowly fade away. And here's what makes Alzheimer's even more challenging. The signs can be subtle at first: a little forgetfulness, a few missed appointments, getting confused in a familiar place. These don't always set off alarm bells right away. People often say, well, that's just normal aging. But there's a difference between forgetting where you put your glasses and forgetting what your glasses are for. Alzheimer's affects not just memory, but judgment, reasoning, and even behavior. If your loved one is showing sudden changes in mood, becoming suspicious, or withdrawing from social life, those might be early signs. And here's something many people don't realize. Alzheimer's increases the risk of death not just from the disease itself, but from everything else. Someone with Alzheimer's may forget to eat or drink, leading to malnutrition or dehydration. They might not take medications properly, which causes other health issues to spiral. They may wander off, fall, or hurt themselves without understanding what happened. It's not just about memory, it's about safety, independence, and the ability to function as a whole person. And as the disease progresses, the risk of severe infections like pneumonia skyrockets because the body loses its ability to fight back. There is no cure for Alzheimer's right now, but early detection can still make a difference. It allows for planning. It allows for medications that may slow progression in the earlier stages. And it allows families to prepare for the care that will be needed, emotionally and physically. Staying mentally active, eating a brain-healthy diet like the Mediterranean diet, staying physically active, and managing other health conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure can all reduce risk. Social engagement matters too. Loneliness and isolation have been linked to faster cognitive decline. And let's be honest, this disease doesn't just affect the person who has it. It affects the spouse, the children, the siblings, the friends. Caregivers often suffer from burnout, depression, and stress-related health problems. Watching a loved one fade before your eyes is a unique kind of pain. And that's why we have to talk about it. Because pretending Alzheimer's isn't fatal doesn't protect anyone. Facing it head-on gives us the power to prepare, to support, and to make sure no one walks that path alone. It's one of the most powerful causes of death in older adults, and yet it's one of the most misunderstood. So what do we do with all this information? We use it. We don't ignore it. We talk about it with our parents, our grandparents, even ourselves. Because these 5 causes, heart disease, cancer, respiratory illnesses, kidney disease, and Alzheimer's, are responsible for more deaths in older adults than almost anything else. But they're not unbeatable, they're not mysterious, and they're certainly not things we should whisper about in fear. They are real, they are present, and with the right awareness, many of them can be prevented, slowed down, or at least faced with dignity. The key is to pay attention. Don't write off new symptoms as just part of getting older. Don't be afraid to ask questions at the doctor's office. Don't wait for something to go wrong before you start caring about your health. And if you're a caregiver or a family member, know that your vigilance can be the reason someone lives longer, lives better, or lives with more peace in the years they have left. You don't have to be a doctor. You just have to care enough to look closely, listen carefully, and act early. Because at the end of the day, what we're really fighting for isn't just more years. It's quality, it's clarity, it's dignity, it's time spent with the people we love. And that means understanding the silent threats that come with age. It means learning, adapting, and doing the best we can with the time we have. Whether you're 75 or 45, these truths matter. They could help you save a life. They could help you extend one. Or they could help you make peace with what's coming and live those final chapters with strength and grace. So now that you know the top 5 causes of death in older adults, what will you do with that knowledge? Will you let it pass by? Or will you use it to make changes, ask questions, and support the people you love? The choice is yours and the power is in your hands. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. And thank you for wanting to understand what really matters as we grow older. If this helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. You never know how much difference a simple conversation can make.